Okay, so I want to talk about the video layout, and I've kind of spoke on that a little bit already, but it doesn't hurt to obviously go in more depth with this. And what I like to do is I like to have something where I have what I've called a pattern interrupt. And this pattern interrupt is usually going to be 5 to 10 seconds. So it's not really long. And then that is going to transition into usually what you'd end up having as an actual intro. And that's kind of like that video. You may have, a logo flash and it'll bling and then flash out, and that's it. It's just something very simple, very quick, maybe a little music. That's about it. That's all you really want. And you may even have your intro music kind of span over all of this. And then this intro is going to be, again, 5 to 10 seconds. You don't want this to be long at all. Then this is the basically, who am I? And again, you're going to be getting into, I'm just going to put me plus content. And that's really just a preview. And what I mean by me plus content, I'm saying, hey, I'm Zach Miller, and today we're going to be breaking down, your sales funnel and how we can absolutely revolutionize it. So you're just basically stating what's going to end up happening into the future. And this, we'll say 10 to 15 seconds. You make it 5 to 10 if you want. It doesn't matter. You usually want to make this really quick overall so that you're getting all of this out basically in about 30 seconds total. This is about all people have. The pattern interrupt makes them stay for the first 15 seconds. The intro has them go, okay, what's this about? And then they re-engage. So it's kind of, if I could say anything, there's engagement, it slips a little bit, and then it comes right back up. But the intro does help for branding, so of course that is going to be beneficial. Just make it very short. And again, your music can kind of go into here and kind of a little bit here as well. And then you're going to transition into your content, or what I would call really the meat. And this is going to be, 1 to X minutes. And then once you have this, I'm going to zoom out a little bit because this is getting a little bit bigger. You're then going to move into usually a second pattern interrupt here. So I'm just going to save time, bring this over. So you have a second pattern interrupt here. And again, this is going to be something that's more along the lines of you explaining the pattern interrupt. So 20 to 30 seconds. It can be longer, but you want to explain it and kind of create a new pattern interrupt. So this is what I would consider opening a loop. And people hate having a loop. I mean, it's like this. My favorite is drawing this and then just leaving this open space. I can't tell you how many times I've had friends just come in here and draw that for me. It's kind of a social experiment, and it's called closing the loop. And I know that it's not coming to mind, but it's a study, and they did something very similar to this, and they just basically had people see an open loop, and the moment that you see an open loop, you automatically put interest and emotion and energy into that, and you have to see it through. Most people have to see things through, so they have to close a loop. So you're opening this loop over here saying, how is your sales funnel like this purple gorilla? Well, find out. I'm about to explain it inside, Marketing Labs 101. And then boom, my intro comes in. Hi, I'm Zach Miller, and we're going to be breaking down sales funnels today. Then you go into the meat of that and you break down sales funnels, and you go, you kind of explain and you close the loop here, and you say, so how is your sales funnel like a purple gorilla? Well, the thing is that purple gorillas don't exist, and your sales funnel doesn't until you have this blank space that's like, oh my God, you're so brilliant, And for me, I always like to explain what's called a value ladder. You have a front end, you have a mid, and then you have a back end. And if you, most people only have one product. And if you only have one product, well, that's why you're not making money, because this is where I break even usually. And then this, and I usually have what's known as a continuity. All those things make me my money. The front end doesn't make me any money. In fact, I lose money on it. So again, it's like, oh, there's this big thing, you know, that you all of a sudden solve, and it's like, that's awesome. So you close that loop, but you need to reopen that loop again, and you need to say, you know, I'm going to be explaining, you know, why, or do something crazy even. It doesn't have to be like another, how's your sales funnel like a blank, or, you know, how it relates to your niche. You could just do or say something crazy, or just be like, you know, what did you know, how hard do you think it is to double your conversion rates on an opt-in page? And I'll show you how I did it in less than 48 hours. And, you know, I went from 20% opt-in rates to 50% opt-in rates. Do you want to know how? Okay. And then you go into the final portion. This is what I'd really call dessert. And this is going to be still 1 to X minutes, however long it takes to explain it. Usually, once you find out how long the top 10 videos are, you take the average of that and say, oh, well, I only need a 4 to 5 minute video. Then obviously you're not going to go on for 10 minutes talking about this and this right here. So again, you're going to pop through this, talk for 2 minutes here, 30 seconds here, 1 minute here, you're done. And then you're going to have, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. Oh boy, look at this. Going everywhere. All right, so then you're going to end up moving to the close. And the close is, you know, basically I like to have it be 10 to 20 seconds. And the close says, you know, like, sub, comment, and, you know, go to ... And go to could be go to another YouTube video. You're trying to create more interaction within your own YouTube channel, which is great when you first start. Or you can say, go to this sales page, or go to this squeeze page where you can opt in and join my email list. Whatever it is, you want to say like, subscribe, comment, and then blah, 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 go to here, and maybe pop that up on the screen. And that's basically going to be your closeout. That's all you really are going to have. Once you have that, most people end up having, if you go really far, you're going to end up having what's known as a default outro, or a DO. And a default outro is seen on a lot of the bigger websites. If you go to one favorite one I like to point out is like Cracked or CinemaSins. Those are ones that I know. But a lot of the big channels will end up saying, hey, if you like this video, you know, make sure that you check out these ones below, or, you know, this and this. And it'll kind of, you've probably seen it before, it'll show their little videos like this and say, hey, click here, you know, you can get this and you can go here. And there's a little guy usually talking and saying, you know, what about that one? Or you could click on that one maybe if you want. If not, you could go here and go to our website, you know, get some fan gear, whatever. So that's kind of what you're going to end up saying at the very end. And these are kind of like, hey, don't forget to like, subscribe. That's your quick blurb. This is more of a pro approach for a default outro. And you place this at the end of every video. And again, it's just kind of like this content that overlays your normal video here. While this is a default and this is a default. That's about all the two things. Everything else is, you know, you. So you want to keep this layout in mind. This is really how you put together a video. When you do this, you're going to have higher engagements. It's going to be a lot better. And it's really going to improve your interaction too with your audience, because this is how people learn naturally. They want to be kind of told, you know, hey, here's this crazy thing. Want to find out? Branding. Then they want to go, okay, you know, I want to find out about you and what you're going to be talking about. Tell me what you're talking about then. then you close that loop, open a new loop, then you end that that new loop that you've opened with maybe like a little dessert, like, hey, here's some tips of how to, you know, double your conversion rates with 2 simple changes or 3 simple changes. Then you go into your close. Then if you want to, you can go into your default outro, which is, hey, you know, like, subscribe, click on this video, click on that video, or go over here to our website, you know, things like that. That's the most efficient way to really create a video and lay it out in terms of what you'll be doing at each section and how long each part should be.